this particular hour. Now, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, is holding Rose Njeri, a human rights activist, following her arrest on allegations of creating an online platform intended to mobilize Kenyans against the proposed 2025 finance bill. The arrest, which took place yesterday, has sparked outrage among fellow activists and legal professionals who claim her detention is unlawful and infringement on her rights. According to Njeri's colleagues, the platform she is accused of developing was meant to provide civic education and organize peaceful opposition to the controversial finance legislation. The Law Society of Kenya, that is the LSK, through its president Faith Odhiambo, has condemned the continued detention, stating that multiple attempts by lawyers to gain access to Njeri was being denied. Veteran lawyer Dr. John Haminwa led a team of legal experts to the DCI headquarters earlier today in an effort to secure Njeri's release. However, those efforts were unsuccessful, with authorities refusing to grant access or provide any official statement on the charges she may be facing.
Be able to hear bail cases at night during odd hours, so that our people are not deprived of this opportunity, and it emphasizes the importance of freedom.
Right, moving on, the government, through the Ministry of Health, has suspended all licenses related to the manufacture, importation, distribution, and sale and advertisement also of nicotine products across the country. Health Cabinet Secretary Edin Duale announced the directive while in Eldoret, where he oversaw the destruction of 5.5 tons of tobacco-related products seized during enforcement operations. He stated that all individuals and companies previously holding such licenses will now be required to reapply within 21 days, strictly adhering to the legal and regulatory requirements, including their inspection and verification procedures. CS Duale emphasized that this bold move is part of a broader campaign to protect public health and national safety. He condemned the illicit tobacco trade, terming it as a serious threat that not only undermines regulation but also targets and endangers the youth with cheap and regulated and dangerous products.
The Ministry of Health, pursuant to the Tobacco Control Act 2007 and other applicable laws, hereby, and today I'm doing it, hereby suspends all existing licenses and import clearance related to the manufacture, importation, distribution, sale, all promotion of nicotine and related products with immediate effect. All persons and entities previously licensed are now required to reapply within 21 days and submitting full compliance documentation for consideration. We are going to do a very serious compliance vetting system going forward. It will not be business as usual. You must account for what you bring to our country. You cannot have the luxury to destroy our young people. We, those of us who have been given the responsibility to protect the health of our citizens, we will do our duty morally and within the confines of the Health Act and the Constitution. So we are telling them, you must reapply afresh. We have invested heavily in border surveillance and port health officers to keep such threats out of our country. Health security is a national security. This product specifically targets our youth with the toxic chemicals that damage their brains, damage their lungs, and their future. And let me be clear, these are not lifestyle choices. They are instruments of harm. We cannot afford complicity. We must act to protect our children, our health system, and our future. As we commemorate World No Tobacco Day, I urge every leader and every citizen, choose health, choose life, and choose a tobacco-free Kenya.
Right, President William Ruto today received Slovenian President Nataša Musar earlier today at State House Nairobi, marking the first visit by a leader from Central European countries since Ruto took office. President Musar's three-day official visit to Kenya signals a new chapter in diplomatic relations between the two nations. The arrival of President Musar was honored with 21 gun salutes, a ceremonial parade by the Kenyan Honor Guard, and other formal welcoming protocols reflecting the respect and importance accorded to the guest of honor. The bilateral talks held between the two leaders focused on enhancing economic cooperation, addressing climate change challenges, and discussing security issues affecting both Kenya and Slovenia. These discussions underlined a mutual commitment to deepen ties and explore areas of collaboration between the two countries. Now, President Musar is also said to be the guest of honor at the upcoming Madaraka Day celebrations on June 1st of 2025 in Homa Bay County.
This visit symbolizes the renewed commitment and strategic importance we attach to building stronger ties between our two nations. I have had, ladies and gentlemen, a very productive bilateral engagement with Her Excellency, during which we reaffirmed our commitment to deepening cooperation across a broad range of priority sectors, including agriculture, education, digital transformation, health, energy, environment, trade, and climate action. We have identified trade and investment as key pillars of our cooperation, with immense potential to spur economic transformation in both our countries. We warmly welcome the participation of the Slovenian business delegation and the hosting of the Kenya-Slovenia Business Forum. These engagements will strengthen business linkages and unlock new trade and investment opportunities in pharmaceuticals, ICT, clean energy, and agro-processing.
So let us both, Mr. President, do everything in our power to preserve our countries and to preserve the beautiness of the world. We must not allow future generations to be deprived of the great heritage that we enjoy today. In that spirit, Mr. President, of course, I raise my glass virtually to you, to your country, and to all around the world who are working for a future where preserving the dignity of the people and nature around us. Our project to build 15 billion trees, I can only applaud and say thank you for that, because you're not doing this only for Kenya. You're doing it for the whole planet, and that's what we have to realize. And we are going to meet each other at the COP30 in Brazil as well. And once again, Mr. President and the people of Kenya, I cannot tell you how much privileged I do feel to be here, and especially I have to ascend this again because honestly I didn't expect the invitation to be the speaker at your Madaraka Day. And believe me, I will try to reveal my soul and the soul of Slovenian people to your people tomorrow. And I really am looking forward to that. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to spend 3 marvelous days.
All right, at the same time, President William Ruto has arrived in Homa Bay County ahead of the much anticipated Madaraka Day celebrations scheduled for June 1st of 2025, which is tomorrow. The annual event, which commemorates Kenya's attainment of self-governance in 1963, will this year be hosted in Homa Bay County, drawing national attention to the county. Now, Madaraka Day is a significant national holiday celebrated across Kenya, symbolizing the country's journey towards independence and sovereignty. This year's festivities in Homa Bay are expected to include various cultural displays, speeches from key government officials, and community engagements aimed at fostering national unity and development. President Ruto's presence underscores the importance of the government's places on this historic day and highlights its commitment to recognizing all regions of the country during national celebrations. The visit is also seen as an opportunity to showcase ongoing development projects and government initiatives in Homa Bay County.
Naona mko area. Na mimi niko area. Sasa si mnajua mambo ni kesho. Mimi nataka niseme asante sana kwa sababu mmenikaribisha hapa. Nilikuwa hapa Alhamisi, nilikuwa hapa Ijumaa, kesho mimi niko area. Hata Monday mkinipanga vizuri nitakuwa area.
Right, moving on. The National Assembly's Justice and Legal Affairs Committee today conducted the vetting of the newly nominated Independent Electoral Memories Commission, that is the IEBC chairperson Erastus Ethekon and other prospective commissioners. However, the process was marked by tough questions concerning the nominees' alleged political affiliations and ties to high-ranking government officials. Ethekon, who has been nominated as the next IEBC chairperson, was questioned over his alleged close relationship with Josephat Nanok, the Deputy Chief of Staff at State House. Ethekon firmly denied the allegations, asserting that he maintains professional independence and has no undue connection that would compromise his role at the commission. Meanwhile, Hassan Nur Hassan, nominated as a commissioner, admitted to have a personal relationship with Junet Mohammed, the minority leader in the National Assembly. His admission sparked further debate among committee members, with some questioning whether such relationships could affect the impartiality of the electoral body.
We will play our role as IBC. Known Honorable Nanok, when I worked with him as the county attorney for Turkana while he was serving as the governor. And I worked with him for 4 years, and our relationship was purely professional in serving the people of Turkana. I shall be guided by the law, I shall be impartial, I shall be fair, and no office, whether small or big in this land, shall influence me.
What is this helping hand that is taking her through all these positions? Is she what we call the deep state that people talk about?
I want to say the helping hand can only be described in two. Number one, my hard work, because I'm usually focused. I want to do the right thing. I work hard. I work beyond my time. If you give me an assignment, I will do even beyond what you told me to do. That has been my philosophy.
Mr. Chairman, I have absolutely no hand in my name being on the list. I find myself on the list, and it's not only me. I'm along with other Kenyans, and we were all interviewed. Mr. Chairman, I want to leave it at that. Mr. Chairman, I am related to Honorable Junet Mohammed. I am his brother-in-law. Mr. Chairman, as his brother-in-law, I existed long before Junet was born.
All right, moving on to matters politics now. A section of leaders allied to the Kenya Kwanza government under President William Ruto has asked residents of the Mount Kenya region to be cautious and reconsider their support for former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Speaking at Magana grounds during an economic empowerment forum, the leaders, led by National Assembly Majority Whip Silvanus Osoro, reaffirmed the government's commitment to inclusive development across all regions of the country. He dismissed claims that Mount Kenya was being sidelined in national development. Now, the leaders took the opportunity to endorse Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki as a suitable leader for both Mount Kenya region and the nation at large, describing him as a dedicated and hardworking public servant.
Ninawaomba miaka mbili ambayo iko, tafadhali, let us embrace the government of the day. Kura yako ni siri yako. And let me tell you, there is Kenya beyond our area.
Kazi yetu ni kuelezea mahali tuko kwa sababu mlituchagua. We made promises to you. Na hii serikali ya Kenya Kwanza had a plan. Na ukisoma ile plan, hiyo ndio tunaendelesha maneno yetu naye.
At the same time, the Goreti South Member of Parliament, John Kiari, has strongly criticized former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, accusing him of promoting tribal divisions in Kenya. Speaking recently, Kiari emphasized that Kenya belongs to all its citizens regardless of their ethnic backgrounds and condemned any actions that seek to divide the nation along tribal lines. Kiari's remarks comes amid growing concerns of a political rhetoric that many fear could deepen ethnic tensions in the country. He urged leaders and citizens alike to focus on unity and inclusiveness, highlighting that the strength of Kenya lies in its diversity and collective identity. The MP called on political figures to rise above tribal politics and work together to build a more cohesive and peaceful nation, warning that divisive narratives only serve to weaken the country and distract from pressing national issues.
Leta ujinga fulani ya sijui wako na shares, wakisema Kenya ni ya watu fulani na sio ya watu fulani. Mimi nakuja hapa kuwapatia ripoti kwamba Wakikuyu ni wa Kenya na Wakikuyu wanapenda Kenya nzima, na ndiyo kwa maana mimi nikiwa Mkikuyu nimefika hapa kumsupport mjumbe wa Bomachoge Chache, na nikijua mimi ni Mkikuyu na yeye ni Mkisii. Kwa hivyo wale mnasikia wakiwa na tetesi za ujinga pa kona fulani, mjue hawaongei sauti ya Mkikuyu, wanaongea sauti ya tumbo yao ya kujitafutia. Na wakati walipewa nafasi, hata sisi Wakikuyu hatukunufaika kwa uongozi wao, walikuwa wananufaisha tumbo zao. Na ndio kwa maana tunasema yule ambaye hataki amani Kenya hii, shetani afanye nini? Hii Kenya ni ya watu wote na tutatoshea wote, lakini haitatoshea hata mtu mmoja mlafi. Nitamalizia kwa kusema hivi: wakati serikali inachaguliwa kwa mfumo ambao uko kwa katiba.
Right. At the same time, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Democracy for the Citizens Party, that is DCP leader, has called on President William Ruto to hold a meeting with families who lost their loved ones during the last year's Gen Z protest. Speaking in Thika, Kiambu County, Gachagua emphasized the need for the affected families to receive compensation for their losses. The Deputy President the Deputy Party leader, Cleopas Malala, together with the Senator of Kirinyaga County, have also appealed to President William Ruto to halt political activities in the western region of Kenya. Now, they urge the president to fulfill the promises he made to the residents of these areas, stressing the importance of peace and development.
Kenya na nyinyi mnajua, hapo ndio mambo imechemka kama githeri. Hapo mambo imechemka kuchemka. Sasa anakimbilia hapa. Anasema hati kura yake ameficha hapa western. Hapa iko kura ya William Ruto.
Saa hii tunavyoongea, mumeona rais ako kule Kisumu. Rais akienda Kisumu anaenda kufungua miradi. Anafungua dam kule Kisumu. Airport yao wameeka. Airport ya Kisumu imeekewa 350 million. Ilhali airstrip yetu ya Kakamega, ile ambayo ilikuwa inafanya kidogo, wamefunga. Alafu akikuja hapa anatuambia msangalile.
Wewe kama unataka msamaha, utafute wazazi wa wale watoto, uwaite pale Ikulu uongee na hawa ndio watakusamea. Kuna hii maneno, huyu Mr. Yesa anatumwa na shilingi milioni 10 ya kuhonga wa mama, ya kuhonga bodaboda. Nyinyi wa mama na bodaboda, hiyo pesa mkule. Hatuwezi zika dovu ikiwa na pembe.
Right, away from politics now, a 40-year-old man is receiving treatment at Nakuru Level 5 Referral Hospital after sustaining injuries during a violent robbery at his M-Pesa shop in Mwariki, Nakuru West Sub-County on Friday evening. The victim, identified as Jackson Maina, was reportedly conducting his business as usual at around 7:20 p.m. when a man posing as a customer approached him. According to eyewitnesses, the individual gave a signal to 5 other armed accomplices who immediately stormed the shop. The gang, reportedly armed with machetes and a firearm, attacked Maina before making off with approximately 100,000 Kenya shillings. Witnesses say the robbers fired a shot into the air to deter residents who tried to intervene, allowing them to flee the scene without resistance. The incident is the latest in a worrying crime wave that has gripped Nakuru County. At least 5 people have been shot and killed in the past week alone, sparking fear and anger among residents. In response, members of the Mwariki community are now calling on the government to establish a police post in the area and enhance security infrastructure. They argue that increased law enforcement presence is urgently needed to stem the rising tide of criminal activities and safeguard lives and businesses. Take a look.
Akakuja katoa panga kagonga hiyo fence ya gas kuigonga ndio akamwambia toka mzee, tunakumalizia leo. Kutoka akamshambulia na mapanga, wakakuwa wanataka kumuua.
Walikuwa tu vijana tu wadogo. Kabuduki ni kadogo tu, ni size kadogo tu, ana shoot. Kashuti mara ya kwanza, tukapiga nduru, tukatoroka.
Tumekuwa na stress sana kwa sababu kitu ya kwanza hatuna police post hapa Ronda Ward. Tukio kama la jana, simu tulipiga na tukapigia polisi hapa, lakini walikuja after 30 minutes.
Right, moving on, the Kenya Revenue Authority, that is the KRA, has intercepted 3 containers at the port of Mombasa, suspected to be carrying macadamia nuts reportedly destined for Mozambique. According to KRA officials, the containers were declared as carrying pineapples but were flagged for inspection following intelligence reports from the Customs and Border Control teams. Currently, the containers are being held in the Customs warehouse at the Mombasa port, pending thorough inspection by a multi-agency team. The investigation aims to verify whether the cargo indeed contains macadamia nuts still in their shells, which is significant given to the recent ban on export of shelled macadamia nuts announced by the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. The ban aims to protect local processing industries and ensure quality control of Kenyan macadamia nuts. This recent seizure highlights the authorities' efforts to enforce the export restriction and safeguard domestic agro-processing factories from unregulated exports. Officials at KRA reiterated the commitment to combating smuggling activities and ensuring compliance with all agricultural export regulations. Right, moving on, the State Department of Irrigation through the National Land Commission, that is the NLSC, is set to commence the disbursement of 600 million Kenya shillings to individuals affected by the Macharia multi-purpose dam project, signaling progress in one of the Kenya's most transformative water infrastructure initiatives. The 20 billion project, situated in the coastal region, aims to improve water security, enhance climate resilience, expand bulk water supply, and increase access to sanitation services. However, delays in compensating over 4,000 project-affected persons had previously threatened to derail its implementation. Speaking during the groundbreaking of the Macharia Health Facility, one of the components of the dam project's Irrigation Principal Secretary, CPA Ephantus Kimotho, acknowledged that compensation has been a major hurdle. He revealed that 4.6 billion Kenya shillings is required in total for compensation and resettlement. The previous administration disbursed 1.6 billion Kenya shillings since taking office. Kenya Kwanza, the government, has implemented a comprehensive resettlement action plan to settle the remaining 3 billion Kenya shillings.
We had come here to launch the groundbreaking of Mazera's Health Center, which is one of the components of Macharia Dam. Macharia Dam is a dam that started in March 2023 and is going to be completed by August 2027. It's going to be supplying over 186,000 cubic liters of water to Mombasa County. But as a result of that, it also has other components which are going to be beneficial to Kwale County. One of them is Kwale Urban, which is now being increased from, which is being expanded from, which was used to supply 1,000 cubic liters. Now it will be supplying 9,000 cubic liters. It should be done in the next, it should be complete in the next 8 months. Also, this dam also has another component, which we call it the Lower Check Dam. Lower Check Dam has a capacity, of 8 million cubic. Again, this Lower Check Dam, the main purpose of it is to control filtration.
Right now, let's get sporting. The Confederation of African Football, that is the CAF, successfully concluded a 2-day security supervisors training workshop in Nairobi as part of Kenya's preparations to host the upcoming African Nation Championships, that is CHAN 2025. Now, the workshop, which ended yesterday, was led by CAF's head of safety and security, Dr. Christian Emerua. It brought together key security supervisors and commanders from across Kenya for an intensive training program focused on enhancing safety protocols and preparedness ahead of the continental tournament. Dr. Imurua emphasized that the purpose of the workshop was to equip security commanders with the necessary knowledge and strategies required to secure CHAN 2025 comprehensively. He highlighted that security planning goes beyond the confines of the stadiums. The workshop covered a wide range of topics, including risk assessment, emergency response, crowd control, and coordination with the national security agencies.
Well, I would say we are here basically for the preparatory workshop for safety and security commanders in preparation for the CHAN. And this is just the kickoff. Now that we have the commanders, we will now be going into specific trainings into specific areas. For example, stewards, private security operations, stadium security operations, training site security operations, hotel airport operations. So there are so many trainings that will be coming up between now and August. And we still have some experts that will also be coming in June from SGSA to also conduct the maximum safe stadium capacities for each of the stadiums that will be used. So that's another program on its own. So yeah, from now we are waiting for every country to give us their own plan, because they need to let us know when they will be ready for these specific trainings that we've talked about. And then we are also ready. We are ready to go once they are ready, but for this CHAN. So the security architecture is not just limited to what happens in the stadium. We're also interested in making sure that everything is ready in terms of the larger society, the entire city, the entire country, because again, during the period of the major tournament, anything that happens becomes on headline news, just as you know. So we want to be sure that we align in all these areas, you know, and share experiences, best experiences, bad experiences, to prevent us from getting such things happening in our venues, and then the good ones to enhance their capacities in ensuring that they imbibe it and probably use it for the tournament.
Right, the Football Kenya Federation, that is the FKF, held its 9th annual Congress in Nairobi earlier today, marking a pivotal moment for the organizations under the leadership of the newly elected FKF President Hussein Mohamed. Speaking after the Congress, President Hussein emphasized that the meeting was historic as it was the first annual general meeting under his leadership since assuming office 5 months ago. He noted that key resolutions had been passed to restructure and revitalize the federation. One of the central issues discussed during the Congress was the financial health of the federation. Hussein candidly acknowledged that FKF continues to grapple with financial strain largely attributed to penalties imposed by FIFA. These penalties arose from unresolved cases under the previous administration which were not addressed in time, thereby burdening the current leadership with inherited liabilities. Despite the financial setbacks, Hussein highlighted a milestone achieved in FKF's commitment to transparency and accountability. For the first time in recent history, the federation presented audited accounts without any altercation or disputes.
I think wonderful. We've passed some key resolutions today. I think the highlights are that I know we are coming from a very difficult period and a very difficult process, but we are restructuring the organization. It's our first AGM. We're only 5 months in office, and it's important that we stay focused and that we continue to deliver for Kenyans. You've seen the gains we've made over those few months, but we intend to do a little bit more. I think what was of significance today is the financial situation of the federation. You have seen the penalties that we have received, unfortunately, from FIFA because of previous cases that we were not able to resolve in good time. This is in the previous administration, and I think our debt portfolio has grown significantly. This is a very, very big concern. For the first time, the audited accounts were presented without any alterations, and we have actually presented the true picture to Kenyans and to the general public, in the spirit of accountability and transparency.
All right, it is exactly 32 minutes past the top of the hour. That's where to wrap up our bulletin here on EBN Weekend Edition. Of course, many thanks for keeping us company in this particular broadcast. Now, do have yourself a blessed Sunday tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow is the first day of June 2025. It's actually half an year. Of course, I don't know how the year 2025 so far has been to you. Of course, many thanks for Brian Mose, David Njue, Mika, Solomon wa Jesus, Sami M, Morunga, Getty Trey, Chima, and Lauren Kelly for your feedback. We do appreciate your feedback here on EBN TV. My name is Martin Macharia. Do have yourself a blessed Sunday ahead. And as always, let's do this again when God says we do.